Thank you, Jeff. So first of all, thank you, Jeff, for organizing this wonderful event. I am Julio Rincon. I am the CEO, majority owner of MIPTek Inc. And so what we're doing is we're developing diagnostics using molecularly imprinted particles. And in the future, we're also going to include therapeutics as well. So this technology surged when I was doing my PhD over here at UTEP. So what I realized when I was working with diagnostics, I realized this was really difficult. The problem is, when you're a user, when you're buying the diagnostics, you have to make sure your diagnostics are refrigerated. If I forget them for a couple of hours outside the shelf, they're gone. If I don't use them before they expire, they're gone too. And you also have to have this specialized equipment, so it's expensive to actually run your diagnostics. Furthermore, I started thinking, what about the companies? Well, if you're a manufacturer, if you're the company that sells these technologies, these reagents, the diagnostics, it turns out it's really difficult. It takes you at the very least 3 weeks to manufacture your reagent from the antigen. So it's a really long time. If you hit a couple of roadblocks, it will take you a couple of months as well. So it's never 3 weeks just. It varies from 3 weeks to a couple of months. Also, it's very expensive to produce. That's why diagnostics are expensive. The reason for this is all manufacturers need to have animals or cell lines. And all of this is very expensive facilities. You have to keep all of this alive. It's really expensive. On top of that, you can't reach 20% of your population. 20% of your population cannot meet your storage requirements. Some don't have refrigeration. Some, by the time they get the reagents, they're already expired. So we came up with this technology called molecularly imprinting. And what this technology allows us to do is allows us to do diagnostics in 3 days. So we get the antigen, we give you 3 days, we have your diagnostic. And this is thanks to the fact that we don't use animals or cell lines, we use chemicals. So this allows us to do very cheap manufacturing. And on top of that, this is not a protein, this is a glass particle. So you can literally take them anywhere, so you can reach that extra 20% of the population that no other competitor can reach right now. So we sit down, we actually got into the NSFI core, the national, we went to Washington. $50,000 later and 130 plus interviews with doctors, we realized that we wanted to start our technology making a diagnostic for influenza A subtype. Harmful, right? Basically means if you go to a doctor and I feel sick, I think I have the flu, your doctor's gonna run the test. Right now they're gonna tell you, oh, okay, the test tells me you have the flu, but I don't know if it's H1N1 or H3N2, which last year was deadly, for example. So I don't know that. I need to run another test, and I don't think it's going to be worth it because it's very expensive. So our technology is going to do that. It's going to tell you you have the flu, plus it's going to tell you it's H1N1 or another subtype with just that one single test. So it's more information in just one test. So this is basically, we did this because the doctors told us that they needed this information. Their patient wanted that information. And as it turns out, flu, it's a recurring disease. It's not going away anytime soon, not even in the long run. It infects up to 20% of the population yearly. Here in El Paso, just January of this year, there were 6,000 cases confirmed. So that means that from all the tests that I ran, 6,000 were positive. If we correlate the data from the CDC, basically the best that CDC does is for every 4 tests they run, 1 is positive, and that's their best case scenario. Worst case scenario is 1%. So that means that El Paso ran at the very least 24,000 tests in just 1 month. And that's the best case scenario. So there's a lot of potential revenues in here. So we went ahead and started, okay, so how will we start here? How will we get to our revenue strategy? Once we get to the FDA approval, we decided to, okay, we're gonna price our product the same as the standard flu test. You're just gonna get more information for the same price, so just choose and opt for that. However, as time goes by, we're going to go and increase the price until we actually reach the value that our clients are perceiving through our test. Using this strategy, we believe we can be profitable by the 4th year, and by the end of the 5th year, we can start our exponential growth, which basically means going to different cities, going to different states, and going to different countries as well. Furthermore, I want to iterate the fact that this is a platform technology. Once the influenza diagnostic line becomes profitable, we can go ahead and start a new diagnostic line. We can go into autoimmune, we can go to cancer, we can go to any type of disease you want. Furthermore, once the company reaches enough revenue to sustain the development of a therapeutic, we can also go ahead and add those lines as well. So we can continue on growing exponentially. So where are we right now? Right now we're looking for external capital. We actually have this milestone-based growth. We want to get SBIR phase 1, SBIR phase 2, get FDA approval. But right now we need at least $75,000 all the way to $150,000. This will allow me to collect preliminary data that's necessary to submit the SBIR phase 1. We as a company, we actually already submitted one, but they gave us feedback and they said, okay, we love your technology, we love your team, but you need to submit more preliminary data in order for them to move forward. So that's where we are today. And so how am I confident that we can actually get SBIR phase 1? That's our next milestone. We have a great set of team members. I have Thomas Boland with me. He's my co-founder and he's the CSO, the science officer. He's actually a professor here over at UTEP. He has experience writing grants, getting the grants, and managing. So right now he has a multi-million-dollar grant called Building Scholars. And he also has entrepreneurial experience. He founded a company called Tevido Biodevices, and they are based over in Austin. I am the CEO. I developed the technology, so in case we hit any roadblocks, I know how this technology works, and I know how to navigate around and get the solutions to keep on moving forward. And I have Frank and Emilio, who are my research assistants. I love them because they simplify my work. I can focus on the important things, and they can do the everyday things over the lab. So I also want to mention, we are a member of Texas Venture Connect. There's only 2 members here in El Paso, as far as I believe. So you're one of them, I think. So this gives us access to legal and business mentors, and as well to professional SBIR reviewers. So we have the team, thank you to the MCA as well. They also give us a lot of support. So we are here today in our lab. It's based here on MCA. So we have a lot of support to get this company going. We're very grateful for that. And finally, I do want to give a little bit of time of the risk and the rewards of this company. I can't deny that this company will take a long time to launch, to reach revenues, because all of the things that I've been basing off is after FDA approval. So FDA approval will take 3 to 5 years. And then after reaching FDA, that's when we begin our sales. By the 4th year, that's when we start getting sales. However, we're a platform technology. We can grow and grow and grow. So we have a huge potential of very high return of investments. Our initial risk is going through the FDA. However, we have a great set of team. And as we're moving bigger and bigger and we have bigger funds, we can actually select and hire the right kind of people to continue moving forward. And that's something that we have in mind as well constantly. But importantly as well, we have a very low established risk. Once we get FDA approval, we know our technology is patented, it's in process, but it's also very difficult to duplicate. I know this because I worked with this technology for many years. There's not a single company that's able to do diagnostics using molecular imprinting. Not a single other company. So there is no way we're going to have a direct competition with our technology without somebody infringing our patents. We require large investment over time. Right now it's a very small amount because I'm milestone based. However, in the long run, we're going to need a couple $1 million. However, we're offsetting this with SBIR funding. That's why we're going here, because it's non-diluting funding. And it also, they help us with 50% fund matching. So for example, if I raise $1 million, they'll offset, they give us an additional $500,000 on top of what they already gave us. So whenever we start offering stock, we're not diluting our investor stock over time. So that's why it's very important for us for SBIR. 92% of the companies, successful companies, go with SBIR. So that's why we must have it as well. That's it basically. Thank you.